Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 5:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Mountain, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And right now, we've got ourselves a couple of severe thunderstorms that we have to watch. One of them being located up here in the portions of North Dakota near Stanley. This storm is very dangerous, capable of producing golf ball sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Originally, it was warned for tennis ball sized hail, but it has since been downgraded. However, you still need to make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately if you are included in that severe thunderstorm warning. The other severe warning that we have right now is off to the west of Santa Fe, New Mexico here for half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. This is another storm that we're going to have to watch, alright? We do have ourselves a triple threat for today, alright? We have three marginal risks of severe weather across the United States. One of them being across portions of the mid-Mississippi River Valley, one of them being across portions of the northern plains, and one of them being centered around portions of Arizona. Now, yes, we are back here. I was in Michigan for about a week, but we are back home now for some more severe weather coverage, and we're going to be back on the grind here. I got some good flooding footage from the remnants of Beryl while I was in eastern Michigan, so obviously that's going to be great, but once again, we are just here to have another day of tracking severe weather. Hurricane Beryl was a major event, and we still have almost 1 million people without power in southeast Texas because of it. But not only were the hurricane effects devastating, but that hurricane produced so many strong tornadoes, right? We had a full-on major tornado outbreak across portions of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and then we had another one the next day across parts of Kentucky and Indiana, and then we had one the day after that in New York. So that system really showed its fury, and we have several areas that are flooded right now, actually, because of it. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Stream Chat here, so if anybody has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. But yes, we are back and better than ever. We actually did already have a tornado earlier today north of Dickinson, but I literally just got home, so I wasn't able to go live for it, but I did see that happen. But yeah. So give me just a second here. What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back. Yes, Mr. Storm Davis is back. Anyway, I just realized the severe warning counter is incorrect. It says 1, but it is actually supposed to say 2. This isn't going to be like any super major severe weather outbreak. It is a severe weather outbreak, but not anything crazy. As I said, we have 3 marginal risks of severe weather today, but only a marginal risk, right? There's nothing higher than that, alright? We don't have a slight risk, an enhanced risk, a moderate risk, a high risk, anything like that, alright? It's a marginal, which is actually the lowest level of severe weather risk that you can get on the SPC scale, but still something to watch. Again, a few severe thunderstorms will be possible today across the United States. A few have already occurred, and again, we're even getting unexpected tornadoes out of this event, so there are things to look out for, right? There definitely are, and again, it's just good to be back, right? Even if there wasn't any severe weather that was going to be super major today, like there's not, I'd probably still be live here no matter what, just to say, hey, I'm back, alright? So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning here for portions of South Central Ward and northeastern Mount Trail County in North Dakota here for Partial and Plaza. 70-mile-per-hour destructive winds and golf ball-sized hail with that storm there are still possible. So if you're in that area, make sure you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. What's up, random Texan guy? Again, it's good to be back. Sorry if my voice is a little shaky. After no recording for a few days, my voice gets lazy and it gets pretty poor. I just realized we got another severe warning for Sandoval County, New Mexico here for our other storm. So this is for half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds for Cochiti Pueblo. Apparently my alert sounds were broken whenever that got issued. But we are up to 4 severe thunderstorm warnings now, actually. You haven't had power since the hurricane hit? Yeah, I mean, as I said, we've still got a ton of customers without power, hundreds of thousands, in fact. In Harris County alone, we've got 1,200 customers being tracked right now without power. I don't know why it's only tracking 4,000 customers. Obviously, it's, you know, hundreds of thousands probably in that county alone without power, because that county does include Houston. For some reason, it's saying that they only track 4,000 customers, but obviously it's way more than that, so. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, just assume that currently we have about, 27% of Harris County without power. Yeah, today has a chance for a brief land spout or two, but again, I mean, we already saw a tornado, so can't really rule quite as much out as we thought we could. But the main threat for today includes damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and hail up to tennis ball size. Mainly with this one storm we were watching, we weren't expecting either of those threats to be really a thing either earlier in the day. We were kind of thinking the severe threats would cap out a little lower, but that did not end up being the case. So, we do currently have a storm in southern Illinois that is causing some damage currently. We do have reports of some metal roof damage, structural damage, and tree and power line damage in Sesser. It has like a hook echo. What is going on? It's actually rotating. Yo, what? What is going on with this? Oh, this wasn't even the storm that caused the damage, apparently. Yeah, the most customers we had at one time without power was either 2.2 or 2.3 million, depending on who you ask, which is insane for a June U.S. hurricane. This is literally a baby supercell, guys. This is kind of unexpected. Look at it; it's rotating. So we've got ourselves a rotating storm here. By Ziegler, Illinois, that is going to have the potential to rotate more and more and maybe even produce a tornado if it really gets its act together, which I doubt it will, but it's a possibility, so we'll have to look out for it. As of right now, it's only producing gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour, but still, I mean, that's a interesting looking storm there that we definitely got to watch. Right now, the rotation's right over Cleburne, or at least it was as of the last radar scan. So we gotta watch that, actually. That's almost the whole Houston population. Yeah, but remember, it's not just Houston that got hit, right? It's all these other areas, too. So it's not like it's just everybody in Houston without power. It's, you know, areas scattered around Houston that have all those outages there. And Houston as well, obviously, but that's not contributing to all the outages. So, let's see here. Again, we do have a special weather statement right now for Christopher. This is in southern Illinois. We currently have a strong storm that is rotating a little bit there, right over Cleburne. So, we're going to watch this as it progresses. Again, there's no signs of an ongoing tornado at this time, but that could change. So, we're going to watch that. Again, I'm not expecting a tornado with that, but I'm just saying it is a possibility. Can't rule it out at this point. Canada should pose a severe threat, or a tornado threat, actually. Maybe, but it's still not going to be like some widespread thing. Like, if we turn on the Canada alerts right now, we can see that there is really not too much going on at all. We have a few severe warnings, but it's nothing too crazy. There's a special weather statement by Juneau, Alaska right now. I'm not seeing it. Is it storm-related or not? Because I don't see it. It's probably not storm-related. Or at least not on the Radar Omega storm-related warning counter, if you know what I mean. New severe thunderstorm warning for Peach Springs, Arizona for 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. If you're in that warning, make sure you are getting indoors immediately. That's going to be approaching Peach Springs within the next couple of minutes here. Really about to be right on top of Peach Springs. So again, we need you guys to get indoors. And our little baby supercell here, what I'm calling a baby supercell, because it's obviously not a fully fledged supercell. If anything, it's a thunder shower, but it has supercell characteristics there, like rotation, so we're watching it. It's a little bit less impressive now, but still just kind of surprising in general that we got something like that today. So that could be a sign of a lot of the storms down here today having the potential to overperform down into parts of southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, southwest Indiana, western Kentucky. So just gotta watch out for it. What's up, Gooseman? Again, it feels so good to be back. Like, are my audio levels good, or are they quiet? I am kind of far away from my microphone. It's been a minute, so we just got to make sure that everything's working, you know? But yeah, just let me know. Am I loud? Am I quiet? Am I good? just what's going on here. Sorry if the background noise is a little much. It's just because ever since I got my new stream layout here with the face cam and the warnings, it's been a little laggy. Again, this is a relatively new thing here. Haven't had too many opportunities to use it just yet. Sounds good? Alright, thank you. Yep, just making sure there. I didn't think there were any problems because nobody had complained about it yet, but anyway, again, we still got ourselves a little bit of rotation there located right over Cleburne. It's a nearly stationary storm. It says it's moving east at 50 miles an hour. It's definitely not at this point. I don't think it really never was, honestly, but maybe moving east at 10 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour. It says it has a potent of 30 mile per hour, or a potential of 30 mile per hour winds in that statement in Alaska. Sorry, I read it as potent because the message cuts off on my screen. Yeah, I don't have that on Omega. Omega isn't showing that, so maybe they don't show the special weather statements for Alaska, but we know they do for severe warnings. That's kind of interesting. Can you imagine if Alaska got a tornado warning? They've had tornadoes before, but they've never had a tornado warning. You can look it up, which is pretty interesting. I wonder when the day will be that the National Weather Service, any one of those national weather services out there, feels the need to issue a tornado warning. Let's see. How is the lighting? Is it better like this? Or is it better like this? Let me know what you guys think. Right now I'm going to keep it like this. But let me know if I should change it back. I know it's already kind of bright out. Peak daylight heating hours right now out here in central Illinois. You really can't tell a difference on the stream, can you? Okay. Never mind. So again, we're watching our storm up here in North Dakota as it continues to produce golf ball-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds as it heads southeastward. It's approaching Partial and Plaza. By the way, we will be live tomorrow for a tornado risk in Minnesota. Currently, we have ourselves a 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. For Minnesota, an extreme southeast section of North Dakota there. Just a little sliver of northeastern South Dakota, a little sliver of northwest Wisconsin, and then even going back into Canada there, we've got ourselves a tornado threat. So especially in like northern Minnesota, we're going to have to look out for that potential. Wouldn't rule out that getting upgraded to a 5% because there are actually going to be some decent parameters out there tomorrow, but right now it's sitting at a 2. And then we're also going to be live here on Sunday for a severe weather outbreak across portions of North Dakota, Minnesota, and Canada. Monday, we're going to be live for a severe weather event across portions of the Midwest. Tuesday, right now, it's uncertain, but we're likely going to have ourselves a live stream as well. So, more live streams in the future. We're kind of back into the pattern once again where we just see outbreak after outbreak across southern Canada and the northern plains and the upper Midwest. So, we'll see what happens here, but right now things are looking pretty tame other than that, even with the tropical system threat. Obviously, Beryl was insane. So mad that the week that I had to go on vacation was the week where we had a crazy triple tornado outbreak. We had, obviously, a massive hurricane slam into the southeast Texas coast. We had millions of power outages. I mean, I was so mad, but Roman was live. He covered all those pretty good with Mr. Storm. And, you know, we're going to have more tropical systems this year, all right? So we need to stay alert. Pretty interesting, actually. I believe it was the CSU, the Colorado State University. I could be mistaken, so don't quote me on that, but it may have been Fox Weather. I don't know. I think it was Fox Weather, actually, but they came out with their July forecast right now. Their June prediction was already a really aggressive forecast, saying that we were going to have an above-average hurricane season, but on July 1st, they bumped it up even more. Now they're saying it's going to be even more above average, so we have got to really pay attention to this hurricane season, guys. Obviously, our tornado season was crazy this year, and our hurricane season could be even worse, so we got to continue to watch that. Hurricane Beryl killed 30 different people. That is just terrible. That is awful. 14 of those deaths were in the United States. The rest were in Jamaica and the Antilles and all those areas, so yeah. Yeah, W. Roman for covering while I was gone. I know he got a lot of subscribers off of that, so I know he's pretty happy. And go subscribe to Roman if you somehow haven't already. Roman the weather guy. Apparently we did actually have a landspout 43 minutes ago in northeast Colorado from this little storm here. So look at this. Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm capable of producing a landspout. The hazard with this storm, the hazards include landspouts, wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and penny-sized hail. And this did actually produce a landspout off to the northwest of Yuma, northeast of Akron. So pretty interesting stuff. That was actually 3 miles south of Burdett. So, we'll see what happens with that storm there, if it produces another landspout or what, but to me it kind of looks like it's weakening out quite a bit. At this point it looks mostly like a thunder shower, really just a rain shower at this point, honestly. Maybe some brief pockets of moderate rainfall, really the only threats with that at this point, it looks like. But we'll continue to watch it, see if anything unexpected happens. All you folks out there in Peach Springs, Arizona, this storm is really taking its time to get towards you, but it's coming. It'll get there eventually. It's moving off to the west at 10 miles per hour. Again, I mean, it's right there. So right now we have some big-time hail falling south of Peach Springs and some big-time hail falling north of Peach Springs. But the actual storm in Peach Springs isn't anything too intense right now. So pretty interesting stuff. It's not going to be any crazy hail. The reason it looks super big is because of our distance from the radar site. But yeah, here where you live, you're hoping to get some power sometime in the next few hours. Yeah, I didn't even realize that rhymed until I said it out loud, but a lot of customers out here have had their power restored faster. Some have had it slower, but while I was on vacation, all the TVs, right, in the hotels, they had commercials for, by the way, new flash flood warning in southern Illinois here for southeastern Washington County, but all of the TVs had commercials saying, hey, we're going to have more hurricanes just like Beryl this season. Beryl knocked out millions of customers' power. You need a generator so that whenever the power gets knocked out, you're still you're still good to go. So that's kind of funny. Tragedy for many ended up being a promotional opportunity for a bunch of companies that sold generators. Tomorrow's threat is looking marginal for tornadoes. We've got curvature, but it's not anything big. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be like a major tornado outbreak or anything, but I do think that we need to be aware of the potential of a couple tornadoes across parts of northern Minnesota there. So, watch out. Again, could get upgraded to a 5% risk. It may stay at a 2% risk. That's probably the more likely situation. At this point, I give it about a 60-40. The 60% chance being it stays at a 2% risk, but there is obviously always that chance that things overperform. So we'll have to watch that. That's kind of the theme of 2024, actually, in terms of severe weather, overperformance. But anyway, really no reason to watch this little thunder shower near Benton anymore. Again, for a little bit, it looked like it was rotating, and it probably was, but if it was, since then it's died. No longer what I would consider a mini supercell. So we're going to continue to watch our North Dakota storm here, because it is actually really concerning looking. To me at least. But yeah. So, keep watching that. If we go ahead though and take a look at the HRRR, we can see that we were expecting a supercell here in North Dakota. We weren't expecting it to be this potent, I'll say that much, but this is what the HRRR was predicting for this time frame. It was saying it would already be done by now. It's not done. And it's saying by 7 p.m. we get some more convection out there in northeast Montana and western North Dakota. By 8, 9 p.m. that really pops off. This is looking to be a more overnight time event now than it was originally. Originally we were thinking it was going to be kind of an evening time event, and now we're saying maybe overnight. But by 9 p.m. is probably where we're going to have our most intense activity here across parts of western North Dakota and northeast Montana, and a small section of Canada there as well. These storms could kind of spill into, so we'll have to watch out for that. But those storms are going to continue, all right? As I said, this is going to be an overnight thing. By midnight, we're still dealing with some strong to severe storms across central North Dakota. Again, that section of Canada there that we talked about. 1, 2, 3 a.m. it's going to continue. And you'll also notice we have another cluster of storms here that we're expecting to have, developed and been done with by then in Nebraska and South Dakota. That's why our marginal risk extends so far south. There's a good chance that if you're in central South Dakota, you don't really see anything too crazy tonight. The reason you have that marginal risk is because you're kind of in between the two risk zones, right? We have a risk zone down here in Nebraska, and we have another risk zone into North Dakota. But if either of those risks spill into South Dakota, we could have ourselves a problem. So we'll have to watch out for that. Again, it's not going to be anything too crazy, but watch out for some damaging winds and large hail. Our storm near Stanley has now been downgraded to ping pong bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds, so that's good news, but still a dangerous storm. Make sure you're still getting indoors and away from windows immediately if you are in that warning. But yeah. So, again, if you're now tuning in, we have been live for almost half an hour now, covering severe weather across portions of the United States. Right now, we've got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, so you wouldn't be surprised with a brief spin up near Chicago tomorrow, marginal curvature, but enough SRH to get it past. I mean, Chicago really doesn't have too much of a threat tomorrow, in my opinion. Chicago's in the marginal. They're not in the 2% tornado risk. The only reason they're in the marginal is because of the wind risk. I think, if anything, it's going to be some, gusty thunder showers in Chicago. But let's actually go ahead and take a look at the ARRR for tomorrow. So, I guess we can't look too far out, but by 10 a.m., not too much. We'll take a look at the NAM there to verify. Go into the 13th here. So, yeah, again, Chicago not looking at too much, but that event that we're going to see in Minnesota is eventually going to kind of spill into Wisconsin, but that's going to be in the evening time hours tomorrow. Around 9 p.m. we could have ourselves some thunder showers, maybe some thunderstorms here in northern and north central Illinois. And those are going to continue by 11 p.m. Those finally kind of reach Chicago, 10, 11 p.m. Again, gusty thunder showers, if anything, for Chicago. I'm not expecting any sort of major tornado threat. And again, I'm not expecting too crazy of a tornado threat for anywhere tomorrow, but again, a 5% risk cannot be, what's the term I'm looking for? Ruled out. I couldn't think about that. You got some electrical guys in your neighborhood? Yeah, that's a good sign then. I couldn't think of that term. Ruled out. You can tell it's been a while. I'm not in the flow that I usually am, but hey, I'm enjoying this. Hope you guys are too. Got on at the perfect time. Yep. We are back. I know we got a lot of people in chat that are just like, hello, hello, hello. And yes, hello. It's all you guys. We are back here, better than ever. Refreshed after a nice long vacation. And ready to get back into streaming mode, honestly. I've been waiting for this for a while. The number one thing I was looking forward to once we got home was going live again. And I mean, I just got home, and here we are, less than, 10 minutes later. I used the bathroom, I unpacked. Here we are. If you can't tell, I was excited. I was excited to talk to you all again. Excited to get back to my weather hobby, my weather passion. But yeah. So we'll keep watching these storms here. Again, we've got some storms here in the Four Corner States. We weren't expecting anything severe, but it's not ended up being the case. We've got ourselves a couple of severe storms across parts of New Mexico and Arizona to watch. But again, our main focus, our main storm that we're watching is up here in North Dakota because we're worried about it here because it has had a history of producing very large hail, some damaging winds, and then also, not this storm, but some storms to the south of it have had a higher tornado threat than we thought they would. We had a tornado earlier today in North Dakota. North of Dickinson, and if we take a look, the SBC didn't say we were going to have a tornado threat, and it wasn't looking like we were going to have a tornado threat, but the storms have surprised us today. Yes, back and better than ever, for sure. So, Again, if you're new here, to make sure to like and subscribe. We do severe weather coverage every day, live here, helping everybody through whatever they're going through in terms of the weather. If anybody has any questions, obviously we try to answer them here accurately and honestly. We're not a fan of the people that say, that over-exaggerate people's forecast, lie about the forecast. Try to give you accurate and honest information here at the Davis's Weather Channel. So again, if you have any questions about your location, feel free to leave them down below. Because again, we are going through an active year of severe weather, hurricanes, and much more. So, we had the earliest Category 5 hurricane in recorded history. That's insane, guys. Storm emoji. Let's go with the storm emojis in chat. Sorry if you hear any background noise. That's just my dad mowing. But anyway, our storms down here in southern Illinois aren't doing anything too crazy. I will say we have a few of them off to the east of St. Louis here to watch in terms of a gusty wind and small hail threat, and maybe even a flooding threat, because remember, guys, this area has seen numerous inches of rainfall after Hurricane Beryl ripped through, the remnants of it anyway. So any more rain has a decent chance to cause flooding in an area if it isn't already experiencing flooding. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in central Arizona for the Polden area for quarter-sized hail. So if you're in Polden or to the west of Polden, make sure you're getting indoors immediately. That is a severe thunderstorm warning there for portions of Yavapai County. So let's go back up to our North Dakotan storm here. Yeah, I love the energy. I love the storm emojis in chat. Again, we are dealing with a triple threat today, which is a pretty serious thing, because it means that millions of Americans today across the United States are going to have the chance to see thunderstorms. And a few thousand of them are going to end up getting some severe thunderstorms potentially. So again, we gotta watch it, see what happens. Show off. But yeah, again, we are glad to be back. So, again, we're going to keep watching our North Dakota storm here right now, centered around south of Highway 2. North of Highway 23, approaching Plaza with the threat of ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. We've actually got ourselves some storms out in California, which is kind of surprising, but it's nothing too intense. Mainly just some thunder showers, actually. It looks like maybe capable of producing landspouts. And then obviously the southeast today, we're seeing thunderstorms, thunder showers. That's just your typical summertime pattern. Nothing new for you guys. I will say we have a decent flooding threat along the East Coast because of some of these storms. We do kind of have some sort of, it's really not a tropical system in any way, shape, or form, but we do have a little system here that is going to push more and more thunderstorms into the East Coast here, so we're going to watch out for some potential flash flooding and actually ongoing flash flooding, as the National Weather Service in Blacksburg has issued a flash flood warning now for portions of Charlotte and central Halifax counties. And we've also got some flash flood warnings going out for parts of southern North Carolina, in the Wadesboro area, Concord, so we'll look out for that. You had rain earlier, but nothing bad. Yeah, it shouldn't be anything too crazy for the Houston area for the next few days here, which is good. You guys need a break. I know the heat has been a huge problem. Obviously, we had millions of people without power out here, and then we got one of the biggest heat waves we've had so far this year in this area, which led to some huge problems. The National Weather Service talked about it. They issued a heat advisory for it, luckily. Got the message out that, hey, it was going to be hot, and you need to get somewhere where you can survive the heat properly. I remember one summer, before I was a WX enthusiast, whenever I still had a life, no, but before I was a weather enthusiast, I remember our power was out for whatever reason, all across our area. I don't remember why. I don't remember if it was because of a storm or not. But then the hottest day of the year came. We had, temperatures at like 100 degrees. It was brutal. And that sucked. Alright, it was awful. But yeah. There really is an environment with landspouts in California. But California is always a wild card. You just gotta remember that. I mean, California never, ever does what we expect. It really doesn't. Look at this. Little, if any, rain is expected with this thunderstorm. Main impacts will be erratic, gusty winds and dry lightning, which could ignite fires. We do actually have ourselves a dry thunderstorm risk today out here in the western United States. Let's turn that on there. We can see dry thunderstorm risk in effect for both portions of California and Nevada, and then also parts of Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. A lot of times people talk about heat lightning. Heat lightning isn't really a thing. It doesn't just lightning because it's hot. A lot of times what it is dry thunder. So basically what dry thunder is, basically what it is it's lightning occurring with a storm, but that storm may not be producing that much rain. So what happens is we've got these lightning strikes coming out of nowhere with no rain at all, and people think, oh, it's heat lightning. Heat lightning isn't real. You've been lied to. I know that's what everybody told you. I know your teachers told you that in elementary school. I know your parents told you that, but they lied to you. Heat lightning is not a real thing. It doesn't just get hot and then there's lightning. That's just not how it works. A lot of times what you're experiencing is either dry thunder or you're just seeing the lightning before a storm actually approaches. And then whenever the storm does approach and it does start raining, you just don't notice. But anyway, just a little rant I wanted to go on there. We really don't have too much left to do here in terms of severe weather coverage. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I am going to have a new video out within the next few minutes here on my flooding in eastern Michigan, so make sure to tune into that. So again, thank you all for tuning in. We're back on the grind, the YouTube grind, so make sure to stay tuned.